And here we go.
Everybody.
How's everybody doing today? This is the Legacy Leadership Show, and it
Woo!
is going to be quite the show. I have already been chastised twice because I don't pay attention. Richard Brooke said, for the first time in your life, would you please listen and not talk? So I completely 100% said no. So here we go. It is going to be one of the greatest shows of all time. I am down in Costa Rica and having the time of my life with a bunch of super professional network marketers like Armand, like Donna, like Thomas, like Alan Bala. I mean, it's incredible. Sue Brinchley, Rob Sperry's putting on an epic event, and there's about 30 big leaders that paid big money to come here. And I have really had a blast hanging around here, learning a lot about what the young people are doing and learning a lot about what us old people have been doing, which was basically waiting to see what was going to happen before we re-engaged, like when we first came in the business. And I am so excited right now because we have got really one of the spokesmen, one of the spokespeople, one of the spokes gurus of network marketing and of business with us today from Hawaii. And his name is Richard Bliss Brooke, one of my dear friends. And Adrian's going to take it over so I can get this thing shared to a couple of other walls so we actually have some people watching this thing. So Adrian, take it away, buddy. Introduce him.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah,
it is.
Introduce me.
I'm super excited to have our friend Richard Bliss Brooke back on the show. I'm even more excited because in one of the things that we're going to get to talk about today is his fantastic new book called Leadership on Fire, which I just got in the mail, my official copy yesterday, even though I had an advanced copy. And I'm super excited to have it on hand because this book is amazing. And most importantly, from my perspective, it is super practical in a way that you can go and make changes in the way that you lead your team and you lead the people around you today. So I'm excited about that, but I'm always excited to talk to Richard because not only do I think he is one of the funnier people and one of the better people at busting my old man's chops of anybody who I know, but he's somebody who I think is super wise, who doesn't pull any punches and really, really thinks deeply about things and really cares deeply about this profession, really cares deeply about doing the right thing. And I learn from him all the time. And so, Richard, it's an honor to have you back on the show. And there's a lot to talk about. We got this awesome new book. There's a lot happening in the world of network marketing more broadly. And I would venture to say that leadership is as important or maybe even more important than ever before in the world that we're in right now. And I'm curious if you think that this is a time when leadership is maybe even especially called for.
Yeah, I think, thank you, son. I appreciate that.
Thanks, Dad.
I've always felt that I guess I was fortunate that I was raised in some sense in network marketing by wolves, but in some sense, they were just also extraordinary leaders that everything was about personal development, leadership. Yeah, we had a great product and we had a great comp plan, I guess. I don't know. But the culture and the opportunity and the teachings was all about leadership and personal development. And personal development is kind of the route, it's the journey to and through leadership. And I just believe whether it's politics or business or religion or education or the environment, or even the arts, everything rises and falls on leadership. And I don't like being coy, but I guess I'll be coy for a minute. And last night somebody sent me something, and they said, "Hey, shouldn't the company take this off their website?" And I won't give you the context because I'm just going to talk about leadership for a second. And I said, yeah, sure they could. I said, well, would you send it to the owner of the company and suggest that maybe they take it off the website? Because it's creating confusion and it's costing people money. They're making plans and buying airline tickets, and they're doing a lot of stuff, based on what's on the website. And so I sent it to the owner. I said, hey, maybe take this down or modify it or something, because people are making plans and this is not, it's not accurate. And I got back this response and I was so gobsmacked by the response. I didn't even know what to do with it, which, left me kind of speechless. I'm usually not speechless. If somebody sends me something and, kind of trips my trigger, I try to practice that, sleep on it, wait an hour kind of thing, but I don't do that, sometimes I'm like banging away on the key. Oh, sorry. Did I lose you guys?
No, you're here.
And so I couldn't even formulate a response to this. So I actually loaded it into chat and I said, hey, here's the context of this. And here's the response I got from the owner of the company. What do you think about this? And oh my God, I got back from Chat GPT a scathing rebuke what this owner had to say. And the essence was, this is not leadership.
Yeah.
This is defending a really bad decision that somebody already made. And instead of acknowledging, yeah, bad decision, let's fix it. It's like, no, I have such low self-esteem that what I'm going to do is just defend my bad position so that I look good. Except, idiot, you look worse. And where's all that come from? Like, why do people make those kind of decisions, say those kind of things, do those kind of things? It just comes from the hole that they have in their spirit. And it, just shows up as low self-esteem, and low self-esteem makes poor leadership decisions.
Yeah.
Says things that don't inspire people or give people comfort or courage. It ends up manipulating people or alienating people. And so, I don't think it matters what your product is, right? There's a million good products in the world. You can walk up and down Costco aisles and find good products. Good products on Amazon, great products in network marketing, compensation plans. Well, they all pay out about 45%, oddly. So I don't really think it matters if you have, third level infinity compression, with a red rooster on top. They all pay 45%. What matters is leadership. And I thought about writing this book 10 years ago, 15 years ago. And, somebody said, when's the best time? When should you write a book? I have an answer to that. When it just flies out of you.
There you go.
Like, you don't have to get committed. You don't have to try. You don't have to get writer's cramp. You don't have to grind on it. It just flies out of you. I wrote that book in about 6 hours over 3 or 4 days. And I'm not saying anything about Tom there. I'm just saying.
I have been in a fog.
We're gonna just. I didn't get that. That was like, I'm the kid. The joke went over my head. We're gonna keep moving here. And so here's an interesting question, right? I can't prove this, but I would imagine that if you were to look at the populace of the person who is enrolling for the first time in network marketing, and you were to compare that to the average person in the workforce, I would venture to guess maybe not like dramatically lower, but you sometimes attract a person who first gets into this coming from a place of maybe a little bit lower self-esteem. You can accept or reject that premise, but let's say we're not operating from a surplus of self-esteem on the front line of network marketing. And so one of the things,
network marketing doesn't attract the top 50% of the class.
I'd say, don't put words in my mouth, sir. I've had media training. So Here's the question though. Here, and I think it's a really important question. And I'm thinking about this as a parent, right? One of my kids, my number one worry, I know he's smart, and I worry that he doesn't think he's smart. My number one thing is, how do I instill into my child self-esteem? And so if somebody is watching this, if somebody's listening to this and they go, shit, if I'm like really honest with myself, oops, on the language, I don't really have very good self-esteem. Or if you're a leader and you're going, I'm leading people who don't have great self-esteem, but I want to develop them into leaders. What are some things that you can do practically to either develop your own self-esteem or to develop self-esteem in others?
Well, based on my extensive child rearing experience, which really is just you, Adrian, or gleaning from watching other people and studying the psychology of it, here's what I believe we can do for our children from the earliest age. Prenatal meaning tons and tons of evidence. The energy, the environment, the music, the affirmations, the voice prenatally has an impact.
Sure.
I mean, that's indisputable, has a huge impact. And so from day one, the energy, it's not just what you say. It's not just what is said to other people. It's not just the conversation in the home and the tone of that conversation, but it's the energy in the home. And if the energy is toxic, if it's stressful, if it's angry, if it's loud, if it's, whether it's arguing or heavy metal music, I don't know. It's just not good for self-esteem. And, I can boil self-esteem down to like a very simple premise. Somewhere between prenatally and age 5, which are called the developmental years, something happens in our environment. And sometimes it can be like the simplest, most innocent thing. You crawl up on daddy's lap. He just got home from work and you want his attention and he's stressed out. He almost got fired and whatever. And he wants to watch the football game and he kind of blows you off. But that's the first time you remember being rejected. That's called little circle in my book. And little circle is what happened. What happened is daddy blew me off. The big circle shapes our life. And that is, what is the story we made up about us that we got blown off? And that story is going to sound something like, I'm not good enough. I'm not wanted. I'm not loved. I don't matter. I'm not seen. I'm not heard. Nobody cares. Something like that. And then once we make that declaration, we spend the rest of our life in confirmation bias, looking for evidence to prove we're not enough. And of course, there's tons of it there. And we ignore the evidence that we are enough. So I know it's kind of deep, but
no, that's a fantastic answer.
I would say as parents, pay very close attention during those first 5 years to what you might say or what you might do that could cause your child to make something up. And then if you notice that they're shy or they're in some kind of funk or they're angry or they're showing off or anything that's kind of ego-based, go over the top on hugs and affirmations. And then what can you and I do? You and I can, do the work of what I like to call A game. So no matter, how messed up you might think you are or how much in a funk or low self-esteem you might think you have, doesn't matter. If you're an adult, you have A game. And sometime in your life, you've done something extraordinary. I have a lot of people in classes that say, oh no, I've never done anything. I've never done anything extraordinary. I said, do you have kids? Yeah. Are they alive? Yeah. Are they in jail? No. You got A game.
There you go.
Right? You have done something extraordinary. And I know that, and I've never raised biological children.
Yeah.
So you find out what your A game is, like make a list of when you were crushing it in life, make a list of how you showed up and study that list. That's your affirmations. That's your vision. Just wrap yourself in a great big hug and sleep with that list over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And your energy will shift.
There you go.
And then you'll start to produce A-game kind of results, which you can pile on to the story, and you gain momentum and more affirmations, more study, more results, pile it on, pile it on, pile it on. And somewhere in there, you get a hockey stick where you're unstoppable. Every one of us is capable of extraordinary transformation. We just have to do the work.
So those of you that thought you dialed into the Legacy Leadership Show, we have cut out to the Dr. Phil Show. We're coming right back.
Do not associate me with Dr. Phil.
This is awesome. God, what's going on
that.
with Exit Coin? It works merged. God did some sort of there's so much happening in the world of network marketing. Texit Coin's
Oh, you
down
want to talk about MLM?
I want to talk about what the hell we're talking about. Man alive. Your book is great, by the way. I read it and I absolutely loved it. But off to another topic. Now let's go.
I think Tom got bored, so we're going to move on now.
Adrian, we were cooking with gas, right?
Jiminy Christmas.
I knew it was trouble when Adrian dozed off. So here's where we are. We go from here, you guys. What do you think about It Works getting bought by Zinzingo and Stuart Johnson doing that? He did that $100 million SPAC. He's got a bunch of dry powder. There's a lot happening out there, Richard Brooke. Do you think this space of ours is going to be going under some massive consolidation, or how you calling it?
No, I wouldn't call it massive consolidation. In the case of Zinzino, they've got a 20-year track record as a public company. Orion is very bright, very strategic. He's got that stock sky high based on growth and EBITDA, and he's using that stock as, like a bunch of quarters in a sock, and he's spinning it around his head, and he's looking for any company that's struggling, and he's going to knock them over the head and drag them into his tent. And why are people joining him? Well, why not? If you own a company and you're struggling, you're not being a great steward for your people. And maybe your people would be better off with an owner that's killing it and got momentum. Now, do those things always work culturally and mixing product and mixing leaders? No, they don't. In fact, historically, most of them don't work. But anyway, that's what Zinzino's doing. The $100 million SPAC, I don't know about that. I don't know anything about it. I don't think there's a lot of consolidation going on, more than is normal, but that's just good for our profession, right? It kind of cleans up the companies that are struggling, that, anytime a sales leader is in a struggling company, it's not good for our profession. It's not good for how people see it. It's not good for anything. Our profession thrives on growth. Anytime we're flat, we're dying. Network marketing, you can't be flat. If you're flat, the people coming in, they're not going anywhere. And so you're offering them the same opportunity you had, but they don't have the same opportunity because nothing's happening. And so people come in and they die off. They come in and they die off, and that's not good. Our industry always needs growth.
I completely agree with you 100%. And I would rather see these people get into a strategic alliance or an acquisition or a merger than wake up like the poor people over at Modere did that morning. Actually, I called Adrian I said, I saw it. But those poor people, and I'm here with John Melton, they saw it on the web. That's how they heard the news that they were out of business. That's atrocious. Rodan and Fields, Beachbody. This is better, in my opinion, and I'm glad to see it going down that way. flipping over to another one that I want to talk to you about is how hard is it to build more than one network marketing organization? And how smart is it if you're a fledgling network marketer to try to be building two deals? I mean, I can't build two. I tried it and it was abysmal, and I did pretty well at it until I got so big that people were just using the deals against each other. So even though I did it, I didn't do it, and it still blew up on me. I don't get it. And now I'm hearing about leaders that are saying, oh no, you can just do it. And I don't believe it. I don't think it works. Give me your optic on that, will you?
It has never worked.
Hello, Julie.
I think the definition of stupidity, ignorance is if you don't know better. But if there's plenty of evidence to the contrary and you decide against the evidence, you're stupid.
Thank you.
You know, greed fuels stupidity, causes people to ignore the evidence, ignore the facts, ignore history, ignore experience, ignore wisdom. And, you know, people that are trying to build two things, they're just being greedy. They're trying to, you know, I think it's kind of like trying to have two wives, right? Or two husbands, or, you know, anything works short term. If you're a good enough clandestine spin doctor, you can do anything for a few months. But the reality, just like in your experience, Tom, is if you're actually good enough to make both of them rise, the bigger you get, the harder you're going to fall, because you're going to be found out.
It just kills you.
It's just nuts, right? You know, one of these days we got to take a computer model and we have to graphically show what happens in a genealogy when I go build another company and then other people from my sideline join me in the other company, or other companies join me in the other company. And so that sends a signal to my team, well, you can join any company and build it. So they start joining other companies, and then my upline becomes my downline, and my soundline becomes my downline, and my downline becomes somebody else's downline in 27 different companies.
Yeah. And it's a mess.
It's stupid.
That's a better word. Yeah. So I just wanted to thank you for Adrian. You got any opinion on that? Try to one up the one uppers.
Yeah. No, I mean it's 100% right, and there's, you know, it doesn't take long to learn how difficult that is, and it, you know, how about this pivot? It comes back to leadership, because if you are actually building this thing, you have to be a leader, and how the hell can you be a leader and tell this team this is what we're doing, and then over here tell this team this is what we're doing with any amount of integrity, and not just completely screw the pooch? It's going to fall apart no matter what.
Yep.
Thank you.
Next.
Is anybody not at Davos?
Me.
Well, everybody, I'm waking up all morning long and everybody's broadcasting from Davos like they were invited with that big circle to go. I mean, let's get real.
There's a Davos, Indiana that is having its moment right now, I think.
It is.
Maybe Tom, maybe that's actually where they are, Davos, Indiana. You know, when it's all white and snowy, you probably can't tell the difference, right?
Oh my gosh, it's unbelievable.
That would be just like a network marketing leader to hang out at Davos, Indiana, all snowy and whited out. You know, they got their big ski cap on, doing the Geraldo Rivera impression, like, well, the wind is really blowing here in Davos, but, you know, I'm here with all the world leaders bringing network marketing to the World Economic Forum here in Dallas. Not to get blown off my feet.
That's exactly what I felt like. Okay, so this Texit coin right now is trading at 65 cents. few weeks later ago, we had Dooley on here. It was trading at over $1. I do not have any skin in the game on this thing. I actually hope it doesn't tank, but I just am so completely allergic to trading securities, coins, crypto inside of a network marketing company because of those widows and orphans that are buying because their upline bought it or because they were walking through an airport and saw a graph that said the Texas coins going through the roof. What do you think about it? Has your opinion changed on that whatsoever? Any of you guys, or do you even pay enough attention to know anything about it?
I don't know anything about
Thank
Texas
you.
coin. I've never heard of it. I don't
Thank
want to
you.
hear about it. And based on how you've described it, Tom, I hope it does tank, and I hope everybody that bought any of it loses all their money, including the orphans and widows. That's the only way people learn.
Well, folks, it's been a great show. We've gone from self-esteem to none. This is awesome. Thank you very much. The heart we saw in the first half of the show has absolutely revealed itself, and that's awesome. Okay, good. On another funny.
Orphans and widows, I have an opportunity for you, right? An opportunity to better yourself and become financially independent. Real legacy income, not some crypto coin. Can I talk about my MLM thing?
Yeah. So you guys, I was on Richard's call the other night, his leadership call.
You did an awesome job too.
Considering I was 30 minutes late. I mean, I had to make up
I
for lost
wasn't going
time.
to bring that up, but
well, I got to call it what it is. So I got my time zones mixed up, and golly, he's got a staff that's unbelievable. But what I loved and what I was really jealous of and envious, these people believe what's coming out of Richard's mouth. He has built a culture of leadership coming up the ladder of network marketing and understanding what it takes to do this business, which is basically all you got. And they're following, and I was just astounded listening to those people with the absolute skills to take it to the next level and following you there. And I think it's a shame that people judge you by your age.
God, that is a shame. You know, I think I told you this story, Tom. I had a very, very important, influential person tell me a few months ago, well, the reason we're not going to feature you or have you speak or whatever is because you're too old.
It happened to me too.
There's a lot of competition in the old white guy category. I'm sorry.
He immediately backtracked and said, "Don't sue me for that."
Oh, that is. And the guy that said that, I
fell out of my chair.
And the guy that said it to you was no spring chicken, right?
No. He didn't have any trouble getting up on stage.
Oh, that's awesome. But I intercepted an email the other day, and it was kind of the same conversation around old guys and this guy this guy that. And I really kind of took it to heart. It wasn't about me, but I thought about it, and I was going to go down to Australia. I could go down there. I love Australia. I've gone down there many, many times. And I was told not to go because I was too old. And that was, true story. But I think that, but.
Too old to travel or too old to speak?
Too old to speak. Maybe it was too old to travel. Maybe they just cared about me and I read it wrong, but no. It was because I was too old to speak. And I got to thinking about that a little bit because we are trying to attract that younger demographic to embrace this business and take it up. And maybe there is there's something to that. So I'm just asking you, we're kind of both dressed alike right now. Maybe we need to hip it up a little bit, Brooke. I know you're wearing a necklace, which is.
This out.
Yeah, that's awesome. So maybe we do need to change our image a little bit to have these kids think that we aren't 100, but we need you younger people taken over. We do need an entirely new world. And they're finding out quickly that Uber and all that stuff is not going to hunt. And they're also learning that influencer model isn't going to hunt. And finally, what we do is more relevant than ever before, using AI to actually enhance it instead of replace it. I am blown away at this event that I'm in right now because I have watched Armand, I've watched Sue Brinchley, I've watched Al Bala, I've watched these people that have been in this business for so long just be absolutely rock solid in their growth and seeing what's going on because what we do works. We just have to make the messaging more cool. Do you agree, Richard?
Yes, I do. Messaging for certain, more cool. Maybe I'll come back to that, but I want to say something about old. Yeah, I mentor, coach 3 or 4 early 20-year-olds, and not about network marketing, just about life and business and relationships. And I think one of the things that they appreciate about me is the wisdom that I have. And I don't mean wisdom from, like I'm like uncanny smart. I'm just talking about experience, right? So I've been a full-time network marketer for 48, in May, be 49 years. And I was even part-time for a little bit before that. And, with that kind of, that's 5 decades, right? And one of the things about our profession is it seems like the whole kind of paradigm of network marketing changes about every 10 years, right? It's like a whole kind of different, the structure's the same, the basics are the same, but the fads change, right? The rhythm changes, the season changes. And of course, people without a lot of experience, when they're in the middle of that season, they think, oh my gosh, this is the way it's going to be forever. And after you've seen 5 different seasons, oh, well, if you don't like this season, just wait because a new one's coming. And I don't think there's any replacement at all for wisdom. I don't know what a younger speaker has to offer. There isn't anybody on stage that's got more energy than me or you.
Oh,
and there isn't anybody younger that's funnier than you and I. So they're lost, Tom. But making the message cool, that's I have a pet peeve about that. And I'm gonna put this. This is actually a memo that I sent to a member of a client of mine. And this came from asking a bunch of questions about priorities and capital allocation, about all that kind of stuff, Tom.
sure.
And so I asked the question, how much money do you guys have invested in product? And the answer might astound you, $250 million invested in product. And annually, like $20-30 million a year in R&D. Could some years be 50. And then I asked, how much money do you have invested in tools to help the sales force sell that $250 million worth of product? And I already knew the answer to that. Their answer was, that's all, folks. I don't know. Because the answer was virtually nothing.
Yeah.
And this is where we are just ass backwards as a business model, as a profession. We're just a little bit over our skis on how cool our products are. And, I don't mean to like diss anybody's product. It's just a fact. We got great products, but so does Costco and Amazon. We shouldn't be hanging our hat so much on the science or the features and benefits or the packaging or, any of the other, tripped through the Amazon, fell on our face in a pile of mud, and came up with a new organic face mask. We should hang our hat on brilliant, cool marketing, which to a large degree right now needs to be video. Any company that's doing $100 million a year or more in sales should be spending $1 million a year on video production. Every one of our companies should sponsor at least one, if not two or three or four motorhomes branded with our company and our products, staffed with videographers, and all they do is travel the country, showing up at your doorstep, even unannounced. Like, it kind of creates a buzz in the field. I wonder where they're going to show up next. And all of a sudden they show up at Tom and Denise's house, big motorhome, pulls onto the lawn, buries it to the frame. They come spilling out of the motorhome with their video cameras, and they say, we're going to hang out with the Chenaults for a couple of days and film real life at the Chenault's house. And then they just pump reels and shorts and long form video upon video upon video to the field. $1 million, $2 million a year on video production, and not cheese ball, typical MLM graphic. Do you keep your income options open videos? I'm talking about Hollywood. Do I know any more of that? Is that enough to rant on?
Cool. Well, that's good. One thing, and I didn't know why I was coming down here to Costa Rica. I knew that I wanted to come and try to figure out what these kids were doing. What I really learned is they wanted to learn what we're doing. But I am telling you what, this whole world of what you're talking about in the world of media and social media and AI and using the tools instead of letting the tools use you is 100% right. And there is there is more opportunity right now in this profession than ever before. If we just turn off the blinder, we got to have the blinders on for your business. But you hit the nail on the head. That's interesting you said that. I was just someplace, and I'm not going to say their name, and I'm taking all my products, and I know my products are better than anybody else's. So I had a whole suitcase of them with me. And I said, well, I'll just leave these with you so you can take these wonderful products. And the guy goes, we got products running out of our ears for everybody. Please do not leave them here. And that blew me away. It kind of hurt my feelings, but it's kind of true. It's just a product. It's just a product. It's just a product at Costco or anywhere else, Amazon, until you make it so unbelievable. And it's in the way we present it, not necessarily. It's got to be great on the label, but the way it is presented, and you take a look at those Modere people, because they're out of business, so I'm not plugging anybody. I mean, they stepped on the gas pedal and had that product on everybody's front porch. We've got to get louder. Don't you agree?
We got to turn into great storytellers and not like non-compliant. We cure everything. We have to actually rise to the occasion. We got to be better, smarter than the FTC and the FDA, and tell compliant, compelling stories and use video so that you can pull together your best storytellers, your best story, capture it once, and then every distributor in the country, in the world, can use the best compliant presentation. It's called duplication.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we need to balance product over with marketing and video production. And, there's a lot of companies that are doing it right now. There's a lot of companies that are growing. PM International, 31, 32 years in a row of growth, approaching $3 billion. Bravenly growing, LifeWave growing, Shackley's now growing. A lot of companies are growing today. And why is that? Because we do offer great products. The standard for products in network marketing, you can't go below this bar. If it goes below this bar, it just never works. The products have to work so well that I authentically am inspired to tell people about them.
Yeah.
there isn't anybody in network marketing really, like maybe, I don't know, 0.1% that lies about their product performance in order to sell it. The bedrock, the DNA of network marketing is these are real stories. These are real experiences. And so that's the floor. Our products can't be any worse than producing that kind of result.
Here's how
And
good
then,
a salesman I am. I couldn't give it away.
well, you
That's
should have just
that's
left him. You should have left him a 4-year career and
I
been an
couldn't
unforgettable
believe it.
contribution in his life.
I did. I did. That was also in the bag that he gave back to me. It's no offense. No, I'm lying. I'm lying. You just had to, yeah, that, but
No,
that's,
you did not.
that's my,
You did not have a 4-year career with you.
I confessed instantly right then. But all of you, I mean, you got to be your product. You got to believe in what's coming out of your mouth. It all boils down to getting in the lane and plugging into the systems, plugging into the people that have been there that can take you where you want to go. Would you agree with that? And Adrian,
Yeah.
do you have to go, Adrian?
I don't have to go, but the radio show is going to have to go pretty soon if it's going to go.
Okay. Why?
Oh, you know.
Okay.
Whatever.
Good.
Hey,
right.
Tom, I just want to say before you kick me off the air, how inspiring it is that Sperry got 30 of you together in Costa Rica to brainstorm and collaborate and swap ideas back and forth. I know the number one thing that will come out of that, always comes out of that, is friendships.
Yeah.
And, one of the dark sides of network marketing is, if I think I can get away with it, I'm probably going to somehow, even if it's clairvoyantly, try to prospect people off of your team onto my team. But if you're a friend of mine, I won't do it. If you're a stranger, I don't mean I'll do it. I mean, leaders will do it all day long. But once they develop relationships with their competitors, like mutual respect friendships, that is the number one curb to rating somebody else's team is relationship. And I know Sperry created that down there, and hats off to him for attracting that many very busy, very successful people.
Have you met this John Wadsworth guy that runs Partner Company? Oh,
Yeah.
dude. I mean, I
He's
met
sharp.
people.
You know what? He gets marketing. He gets marketing.
So,
Yeah, I don't know him personally, but I have observed him.
Yeah, the kid's got it going on, and it kept going. And I see Alan Newell, who was, I think he was CEO at Texas Roadhouse, or one of the great big steakhouses before he got out of there. What steakhouse it was in the
Lone
comment?
Star Steakhouse.
What was it?
Lone Star.
Lone Star?
Yeah.
This guy is a stick, and he's got 1 billion auto ships. You never saw any. That's an income claim or product claim, and whatever the number is, he's got some auto ships. And don't ever believe my numbers, but we've got real people here, and the name of the game is getting together with people, collaborating, not competing. And instead of shooting inward, I mean, Armand hit the nail on the head when he said he wants to go get one of the great stadiums, get all the companies in there, have a huge rallying point event where Brooke speaks, maybe. And
he wheel me in a wheelchair.
yeah, we'll make sure they have an elevator for us. But we got to do it, man. The world's out there suffering, and there are problems. And this profession has a solution to it, because no other big business has an entry point that's virtually money back guaranteed like our profession. And I love it with all my heart for that. Don't you?
Yeah, like anybody, there's no barrier to entry. I mean, that's one of the downsides too, is anybody can get in. So, the failure rate's really high, but I'll take anybody can get in. any time, because if that wasn't there, I wouldn't have got in. You definitely wouldn't have got in, right? But on the upside, where else can you, with virtually no money, on a part-time basis, be mentored with people that have done exactly what you're attempting to do with the same product and the same financial opportunity, same comp plan? Where else can you build an income in 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 years, however long, that pays you not just for your life, but for your children's lives and your grandchildren's lives? There's already people in network marketing that are earning incomes developed by their great grandparents.
Right.
Generation already in this profession. Where else can you do that? That's legacy income. That's an asset. Even $5,000 a month in residual income is worth $1 million.
Yeah.
And what does it take to develop $1 million of net worth? It takes a lifetime of sacrifice and discipline and luck. You know, you got to put away $500 to $1,000 a month your whole life, even when your car breaks down, even when you get married, even when your daughter gets married, even when you need to take a vacation, even when somebody gets sick, even when the roof falls in on your house, you still have to save $1,000 a month your whole life. People can't do it. This, as Mark Yarnell said famously, is the last bastion of free enterprise.
Yeah.
We should embrace it, respect it, and most of all, just do the work. My God, it's not that hard. Just do the work. Do it every day. 15 minutes a day, 4 or 5 years, blow your mind.
Any words of wisdom from the sponsor of the show?
Who's that? Who's the sponsor?
Adrian.
Is that contact mapping or Now.Site?
Yeah. What do you got, Adrian? Did you read the stream on the bottom, Brooke? Or
hey, I'll say something about Now.Site. I saw the most recent rendition, the whole new website.
It's crazy.
I was blown away, man. That is some hot marketing right there. Everybody should be all over that.
There's huge stuff coming down the pipe. It's very exciting what we're doing with some really cutting edge companies in network marketing. And so it's exciting times. I got you.
Looking for money. That's awesome.
A little something for the effort.
Yeah. There you go. A little something, little something for Daddy Brooke. Don't worry.
I'm totally sincere. I told Justin, I said, this is quantum leap marketing, taking full advantage of AI at less than 3 cups of coffee a month. Come on.
Yeah.
Everybody should be all over it, like white on rice.
So what about, how do we find the book again? What's it called?
Adrian has the only copy. I printed one. I sent it to Adrian.
One of one right here. Collector's item.
What is it? That thing is smaller than Brian Carruthers' last book.
Adrian, get full screen.
There we go.
Get it out there on the camera.
I think we lost Carruthers about a week ago, but yeah, that's a beautiful book.
Leadership on Fire. You can get it on Amazon. It's already sold out once on Amazon. And if you buy it and read it, do yourself a karma favor. Put a 5-star if it deserves it.
Yeah.
Or 1 if it deserves that. Review on Amazon. That will help influence other people to read it. I don't make any money on books. They're not even worth writing financially. But
so do me this favor. Listen, he's too polite to tell you this. If you're going to give anything other than a 5-star review, don't give it a 4. It hurts. So don't give it a 3. Don't give it a 2. Just give it a 5, just because think of the team and give it a 5. I promise you I'm not wrong about that. It's that simple. And what else do you want to talk about before we get out of here, Richard? I don't even want to tell you who next week's guests are.
It's okay. I'll find out. I just want to tell you how much I love you and appreciate you. There's only 2 people in my life that call me on a regular basis. They don't ever ask me for anything. I can't remember the last time Tom Chenault asked me for something.
Well, the last time I did it was I asked you for a bathtub photo and you showed me your.
You can't even say it, can you?
No,
That trumps your bathtub photo, doesn't it?
no
We were so
questions.
close. We were so
I
close,
got
guys.
2 people in my life that call me just to tell me they love me and appreciate me and how can they support me. One of them is Tom Chenault, the master network marketer of the world, the greatest networker in the world. And the other one is a lifelong friend of mine that has nothing to do with network marketing, but oddly enough, chats with Tom Chenault all the time.
Yeah, we're talking. That guy's awesome. How's he feeling?
Yeah.
Not good.
How
Doc
would
on
you
it.
feel if your kidneys weren't working?
Yeah, no kidding. I got all kinds of organs like that. I love you all with all of my heart. Take it away, Adrian. Get us out of here. It's been an interesting, if not great show. And we love you, Richard, so much. It's unbelievable.
Thank you
all
for
of
the
the above
legacy
true. We love you, Richard.
show.
Thank you. Robbie Fender and Josh Olson next week on the show. It's going to be another great one.
Oh, I'm going to show up. I
Oh,
love
that'd be
those
awesome.
guys.
Awesome. Love you guys. We'll see you all next
Good
week on
choice.
Legacy Leadership. Thanks for listening.
Good choice.
Bye.
Over and out.